Now that we have finished building the computer, or at least you saw how we build a computer, I just want to share some tips and tricks with you guys. So when starting off with selecting parts, the first thing you want to do when selecting parts is be sure you're not bottlenecking anything. Now bottlenecking, surprisingly, can be demonstrated using a bottle. Really surprising. Now what you do is you just think of this. You fill the bottle up with water, right? And you just want to pour it out now. But the water is going to pour out slowly because of this bottleneck you can see here. So when you're pouring it out, the water is going to be channeled down, and it's not going to go at its full potential. It's going to be really flowing slowly. Now if we cut off this bottleneck, this part, and we poured water in there again, and we poured it out, this time it will go really fast because there will be nothing slowing down the flow of water. This concept can be applied to computers. If we buy, for example, a $100 CPU and we pair that up with a $800 graphic card, it is obvious that the graphic card is not going to perform at its full potential. The graphic card is going to be this part of the bottle, the CPU is going to be the bottleneck. So it's going to be slowing down the speed of the graphics card. Now you really don't want to do this because you'll be basically slowing down something very expensive, and there will be no point of buying something very expensive. You have to manage to balance every component of your build out. Now how do you do this? You just have to do a bit of research, look at forums, ask people who have already built computers, just get the general knowledge in there, and just ask for people for help if you don't know how to do this. Now another issue when building computers is compatibility. You also want to be really sure that everything works together. Now you should double check, triple check, and check again. But you should also ask some friends, whether if they've already built computers, just to look through your build. They'll be really happy to do so. Everybody in this community, in the community of computers, we nerds, we actually love helping each other out. It's really a nice feeling. You're getting into a good community which is willing to help you. So you have to be sure that everything is compatible. You also want to check dimensions just to see if everything fits in the case, because you don't want to get a huge graphic card for 500 bucks then see that it doesn't fit in your case. That really sucks. Another thing, which is kind of a side note, which I love doing, is matching up the colors of the components, because there are a lot of components out there, like graphic cards, there's hundreds of them, and quite a few of them actually perform exactly the same. Now the only distinction between them is their design. So you have the choice there. You want to get everything that matches in colors. It looks so much more aesthetically pleasing, and people will think that you're more of an expert builder. And the final thing is, I mentioned this again, get help when choosing your components. Get help. Consult someone, a professional, friend who's already built a computer. We love helping. Trust me. You can even ask me. My email is just below here. Alright. Now to the actual building of the computer. We're going to start off with something, get help. Get a friend to come and actually physically help you build the computer, because it takes a long time, especially if you're a first-time builder. You want to maybe open out a night or a weekend, just give 4 to 7 hours to actually build this computer, because you're going to need it. There's going to be a lot of little tricks you're going to be running into. First-time builders, it kind of is a problem, but don't get discouraged. It gets easier, and you get that nice feeling when you finish your machine. Trust me, it's worth it. You want to read your manuals, especially the motherboard manual when building your computer, because even though there's a lot of standard procedures in computer building, there's still a lot of particular individuality to each component, and things might not work as they usually work, so you want to refer to the motherboard and see how everything is supposed to work and where you're supposed to connect everything. You get the general trend. Just read the booklet. I know it's really time-consuming. Just look at it, read through it, and just understand what components you have bought, especially the motherboard. Another thing when building computers is you want to also get these things called standoffs. Now what do standoffs do? When you put your motherboard into your case, you're going to have to screw it in, and there's a good chance that the motherboard's back will be in contact with the actual case. So you do not want that to happen because it can actually short out the motherboard. So you want to get standoffs, which are screws which raise your motherboard, and you want to screw your motherboard into there. Now some PCs cases, they already come with those, so you don't always have to have them, but if you're not sure, you should get some, and you should just screw them in, and just it'll be worth it. Trust me, you don't want to have your computer burn out. Be careful when you use each one of your pieces. You really don't want to break anything. You want to be gentle with all your pieces, treat them correctly. You want to ground yourself, get the static off you. And finally, one of the most important things is have fun building the computer. Really, it's an experience and you should enjoy it. I would say that building my computer this year has been one of the funnest things I've done and one of my favorite things. So seriously, build a computer and have fun doing it. That's really important. Right?